All right, everybody, welcome back again to the KSR YouTube channel. It's a nice day today. It wasn't Saturday where we got rained out. Why is it always nice and sunny on work days, but you go try to race on the weekend? Or fishing, true.
It's always sunny and nice outside the days you gotta come to work. And then when you're trying to go outside.
That seems ridiculous, but that's the way it is sometimes. But we're going to give you an update on some of the stuff going on in the shop today. And yeah, get you guys caught up on some of the shop projects, as well as a new one that kind of came in accidentally that we're trying to get wrapped up really quick. So let's get into it. All right, everybody, today's video is once again sponsored by Factor. Eddie's already in here working on his.
I don't want to wait, so.
What?
I don't want to wait. I'm hungry.
Oh, okay. Well, in 2 minutes, you're going to have something good to eat. Well,
Pro tip, if you have a really crappy microwave at work, 2 minutes, 22 seconds. All right?
that's the trick.
That's the trick. Gets it piping hot for you. And pull the sauce out before you heat it up. They give you a little sauce pack. Pull that out.
Nice.
Look at that. Look at that steam.
What'd you get today?
Oh, I think I got Mexican something. Mexican taco.
You got
bowl.
a Mexican meal? Wow,
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
I know. Weird, right?
Let's see what I've got today.
Good. CJ is the
Honey
Factor.
mustard
king.
chicken.
So
Yeah.
he told me this one was good.
That one looks good. I may have to try that one.
You can't try any of this?
I didn't mean yours. I meant I'm
wanna
gonna
see what you had.
Like next week, I might have to order that one for me.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I ain't sharing.
Well, get out of the way so I can do mine. All right, so if you guys didn't know, Factor is a great way for you to not only eat healthy, but save yourself a ton of time when it comes to meal prep, cleaning up in the kitchen. Obviously, I'm not gonna have any dishes when this is done. I'm gonna pop it out of the microwave, eat it right out of the thing, and then throw the trash away. No dishes to deal with, no trips to the grocery store. Just go on to factor75.com, pick out the meals and the plan that I want to order, and food shows up, and then 2 minutes later, you got something ready to eat. So most Factor meals are between 350 and 500 calories, so it's a great way for you to control your portions, but also get some great tasting food that's way healthier than fast food. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I go to the grocery store, if I'm left unsupervised, I'm not going to buy food that's going to be healthy for me. I just admit it. I shop like a 12-year-old, and you know, this is a way for me to be able to eat healthier and save myself a lot of time. All right, time to enjoy some lunch. Yep, that's some good stuff. And I would never put green beans in my lunch. I'm not a big veggie guy. But when they come and they're already cooked well, because Factor meals are fresh, never frozen. And like I said earlier, it's a way for me to not only eat healthy, but instead of going to fast food, but also it saves me money over going out and getting fast food. So here lately, Factor has expanded their weekly selections to over 80 options, including more seafood options, Mediterranean. There's all kinds of food, and you can find something that you will enjoy. So if you want to join Team Factor like we have here at KSR, go to factor75.com and use the code WINWITHKSRFB50 to get 50% off of your first box and free breakfast for a year. Once again, that is factor75.com, code WINWITHKSRFB50. 50% off and free breakfast for a year. And their breakfast stuff is really good too. So thanks again to Factor for sponsoring this video. We're going to get back out into the shop after finishing our awesome lunch. See you guys back out there.
It's almost done.
You're making a lot of noise.
What happens in a fabrication shop?
But why are you cutting it apart?
I don't know. Job security, I guess.
All right, so big thanks to everybody who's been buying some merch lately, and also to those of you that have subscribed to the channel for the memberships. If you're not a subscriber, like just a base free subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. You know, it helps the channel grow, helps us continue progressing forward with the channel. And for the monthly subscription thing, you get some behind the scenes stuff, like the 5 minutes of footage I filmed to go out to the track and get rained out this past Saturday. I just threw that up there without editing it. So that's kind of some behind the scenes stuff that members get to see. But anyways, Eddie's working on Reno's Nova some more. And one of the things we wanted to add after sick week was an oil cooler. So this thing is kinda jammed in here. As you can tell, there's not a lot of room, much of anywhere in this car. I mean, little bits here and there, but we're in the process right now, or Eddie is, of remounting this oil filter setup, which we showed a little bit in the last video on this car, to where originally this went from the outlet here and hooked directly up to the block. So we had a mount that went from here up to there. This is a new mount because this is our adapter from Improved Racing. So got their logo on it there? Yeah, there we go. There you go, even has the part number on there. So this is a thermostat that when the oil is cold, most of it, like the vast majority of it, just is gonna loop and go right back into the engine. And then once it gets to 185? Yeah, right, 185 degrees, then the oil will go fully through the cooler. So to use these adapter fittings here to mount this to the block, we had to remake both of the, like, originally we didn't have this mount on the back side of the oil filter housing assembly, and we had one here, but where's it at? You took it off and,
right here.
Oh, look at that, queued up. So there's our first mount, and we're gonna send this in the spares package with the car, because if the oil cooler ever takes any kind of damage during the drag and drive, or if Reno's just going to be going drag racing only and not driving the car around on the street to an event, he will have the ability, like some of the other cars that we've done, to take out the street fuel system, take out the oil cooler system, take out the passenger seat, take out a bunch of weight to probably dump 100 plus pounds off the car, 150 pounds off the car maybe, depending on how much fuel was in the fuel tank. If he wants to get real wild, he can take the radiator out of the car and run it just on straight methanol, because that's another piece that Eddie's working on, which probably by the end of this video, we'll have some more of that.
Yeah, waiting on material.
Waiting on material. But to get the oil cooler to fit, or the oil cooler adapter, you had to chop up my belly pan. Dang
You
it.
didn't make it right, so I'll fix it for you again.
Wow. So, yeah, part of progressing a car forward is sometimes you got to go back and remake things. And we were toying with the idea of, some different plumbing options for working all this out, but this is the way we've worked it out currently. And it's got a nifty little bracket on there. We'll send this out and get both of these powder coated for, before it all goes together for the final assembly. And I think there's some other stuff that's going to get powder coated, right? Or, oh yeah, the front core support. Once we finalize the core support, you can see we fabricated a complete aluminum core support for this car. Yeah, there's going to be something done. We'll send the fuel cell out to have it anodized, as well as like the fuel rails, because they aren't anodized. And anytime you're running methanol, everything should be anodized so that there cannot be the corrosion form. Methanol, very corrosive. So if we can anodize the tank, we use Teflon lines, all the hose ends are anodized. So in doing that, the goal is to have zero corrosion when it comes to the fuel system, especially the methanol side of the fuel system. So you're probably waiting for me to quit yapping so you can get to work.
Yep, you yap a lot.
I mean, you're not wrong. You need a hand?
Maybe.
I'll help. I think you got to go back forward.
Yeah, I do. But like you got to go back.
You're hooking the flex plate.
Ah.
There you go. So, see there, had a little interference problem. You gonna bolt up the...
Yeah, I'll bolt that third one in.
Passengers, bolt the side up over here. Take a tight fit and make things even tighter.
Yeah.
Just make sure you get that back held level. Since it could fall on this side some.
Okay.
I think I saw, yeah, this line is hard on the edge right here. So we changed something there. That's a wiring line too. So oil, I think it's the oil pressure and the...
It's the oil temp wires and
oil temp.
the turbo oil feed.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll fix that.
Definitely lots of stuff crammed in here.
Yeah. Novas aren't big cars.
Especially Chevy 2s.
Yeah.
Second gen Novas, or third gen Novas, like the 68 to 70s are pretty nice. Get a decent size deal in there, but I don't know if I've shown the underside of this car in a while. But it's pretty nice underneath it. Got our gear vendors in there. Carbon fiber drive shaft. AFCO shocks. Got a little bit of adjustability on the front of our springs there. And the fuel cell doesn't leak anymore.
You're welcome.
Good job, Eddie. Tank that catches all of our, so we've got like, I don't know which one's which, but the rear end vents into here, the gas tank vents into here, the transmission vents into here, and the gas tank also vents into here. So, and then it's got the little breather there, so you don't have to worry about like a dirt dauber or something getting in there and clogging the vent to any of these. It's all a contained package. You know, that's something else we might send out and have powder coated or anodized. Let's see.
Breather tank?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I welded it, so you know it's not gonna leak. So we could powder coat it. You know.
Wow. There's no pressure in that, so you know.
There's no pressure in this either.
Yeah, you're right. Dang it. All right. Let's go on to the next project. We want to talk about? Nah, we'll save that one for last. So, CJ's project over here. We're using another of the thermostat oil cooler adapters on this car, but this one has a built-in filter mount. So you can see the filter down there on the bottom. And we're doing kind of something similar on this, where we're going to take oil out of the front cavity of the engine, bring it right into the oil cooler adapter, the oil filter mount, and then it'll go from there back to a port on the oil pan. It's got a Moroso adapter that right now there's a oil filter on the pan, but we're removing that and getting their adapter that just threads a 10AN inlet to the inlet port back into the block. So we'll fix that. You can see the mount and everything there, how that worked out. And then all of the ducting back from powder coat. The radiator, we opened like this is kind of stuff that not a ton of people will recognize unless you've really had a lot of time in a first gen Camaro. But originally, the core support was like the opening didn't start until, you know, here and go this way for the, so like this metal here came all the way over, and so that was just nothing, blocked off both sides. So we opened up and then welded a lip onto there, and then we've used a gasket that we sourced that has a little lip on it, and basically seals the radiator to the core support all the way around the thing. And the idea is that we're going to be jamming the air. Once the air comes in through the front grill, it's going through the radiator. We're going to have some rubber that we rivet here that's going to kind of seal off this area here. Same with where the oil cooler lines go through down here, because we've got to build our oil cooler lines still. But this thing is getting pretty close. We've opened this up here for some airflow to go in for the air filter, because the air filter is going to be somewhere over in this area once we build a cold air pipe for it. CJ's been making AC lines today, so you can see he got all this done. All looks super awesome. Made our radiator hoses out of some aluminum and silicone couplers, so won't ever have to worry about those failing. And these, you know, this car this is a lot wider radiator than stock, so the hoses weren't going to be in the factory location. So we worked out which hoses we need, which of the silicone adapters we needed, and then just used some aluminum tubing, bead roll the ends of it so it can't slip off. There's a bead roll under there on all these. And then one of our next moves, after we get these lines mounted back to here and get the ends, we're using the heat shrink ends on those right there. You can kind of see them. But we're going to be building an expansion tank or a coolant reservoir right there, so that this will go into the top of the tank, so it'll vent all of the air out of the radiator and into the expansion tank. And all the steam ports go to a port on the back of the water pump that Holley provided with their mid-mount accessory drive kit, which this thing is super compact. Really happy about that. And we're not lacking too much. We got to plumb the fuel lines still. And then it's going to be down to mostly wiring stuff. Yeah, this thing's come a long way. Like Detroit Speed front subframe, Detroit Speed 4-link conversion in the back. You can see where the 4-link buckets mount there. That's actually for the upper control arms, and the lower control arms bolt to the factory front spots where the leaf springs go. We had to custom make brackets for the seats because the owner of this car is pretty tall. So we had to tuck him down in the car a little bit so he would even be able to fit, like wear a helmet in the car, because he plans to take this thing out and beat on it around our local autocross track. We've got a roll bar to finish in the car still. It's not going to be like any kind of full cage, but it's going to be a main hoop with a diagonal and a harness bar, and then 2 bars that go down and we're going to land them on that piece right there. That's part of the Detroit Speed kit that locates the upper shock mounts. So you actually crimping hoses?
I'm making one right now. We just so happen to have a piece of line that was the perfect size.
I think we got some scissors that work pretty good for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I figured they'd don't.
Yeah, I mean, they're, well, too, you can slide. You might be able to get the first one. You could slide the stainless hose down a little bit. And then, yeah, it'd be cool to get some of that crimped up. And we'll leave CJ to that. And this kind of turned into mine and Will's project. This car came in for a dyno. Shh.
Sorry.
So it came in for a dyno. Made a few pulls on the thing and went to crank it up. On like the 3rd pull, wouldn't crank. Engine totally seized up. Didn't show any indication in any of the gauges, but the guy that's got the car, he's super excited about it. Next thing we know, we have ordered an engine, transmission, and a rear end for the thing. So, and that comes with some Calvert suspension stuff, and we're gonna do some subframe connectors. So quite a bit of additional work that we weren't really planning, but because it's not a complete car rebuild, basically we're just replacing the engine. We did get a hydraulic clutch conversion, so for the clutch master and the slave cylinder and all that other stuff. So got the rear end back here. I painted it up yesterday, so that will be going in later today. And maybe I put it in the video, maybe I don't know. Got a V10 Ram up on the dyno. We went through and kind of freshened the engine because it had dropped an exhaust seat out of it, and apparently it was the second time that it's happened to the owner. So we sent both heads out and had he's some dude that is well known in the Viper community for fixing those, which is great, but it took him a year to do it. So that project literally drug on for a year and a half, when the majority of that was totally out of our hands. We sent them off, and I don't know what the deal was, but it took him a long time to get them done. And they came back, and they're nice. And hopefully the seats all stay in the head. He told us the amount of press fit that he changes on those, so that apparently that was a known problem, that the V10 engines will drop exhaust seats out of them. So now, hopefully it's all fixed. I've been making some break-in pulls on that one because it's just got, we also line-to-line skirt coated the pistons, and there's a break-in procedure. So we've been working through the break-in procedure, which some of that is kind of warming it up, putting like half load on the car, letting it come back to an idle, doing that again for a little bit longer period of time, a little bit more throttle, changing the oil several times during the break-in process to keep an eye on everything. So just about wrapped up with that. Gonna put a couple 100 miles on it on the street and then turn it back over to the owner of that. But lots of stuff going on in the shop. And we are still looking to hire somebody. So been some people show some interest in that. Had a couple of really good candidates that came through. We worked with them for a day or two, and then they couldn't pull away from where they were. I guess they were kind of too rooted in, maybe where they were coming from, because some of them were moving from out of town. Well, they were all moving from out of state, actually, was going to be the plan, and then kind of changed their mind at the last minute. But if you're somebody that is willing to commit to move here, maybe there's an option for you working here. Send us your resume, and we'll go through the process of interviewing you and all that good stuff, and maybe you can work with us. And would they want to work with us?
You want to work with me. You don't want to work with Kevin, though.
I don't know. I think CJ's a better expert. He's been here longer than you have.
I don't know about all that. I may do.
Wow. I remember that.
All right. Well, we're going to get back to work. This has been a lot longer of a introduction to what we've been doing than I thought it was going to be. Maybe it turns into a whole video. I don't know. I'm looking at 19 minutes right now. So, oh yeah, there's that thing up there too. For those of you that have been asking about it, I'm hoping it goes right there after LS Fest.
You seen that, CJ? There's a car up there. I think it's a Buick.
It is not a Buick. Jerks. So, yeah, I'm hoping that after LS Fest, we will be wrapping this one up. You can shush. Gah. So this will end up back down here, and then we're going to get back to it. I got to cut some stuff out that I screwed up. Just one area, but unfortunately, one bar turned into 5 bars where I messed up the mid hoop in the car. And I got annoyed with it, I'm not gonna lie. Thrashing, trying to crank out videos more consistently on the thing, and when I screwed up and knew I was gonna have to go backwards to fix it, it just kind of burned me out on it. And I'm like, you know what, you can sit, car. You can sit, and you can sit there and wait till I want to work on you again.
Yeah, it's the car's fault that you put the bars in wrong.
Definitely. 100%. All right, we're going to get back to work. Well, every day, raining again. Woo, look at that sky there. I feel like every day it's rained here lately. Every single day. Which is great for the grass in my yard, but it's horrible for me actually being able to mow it, because every day I come home in the afternoon, it's raining. And my yard would be all wet, and it would mess up the blades on my lawnmower. Or I'm busy getting kids back and forth from gymnastics. Anywho, we're working on all kinds of stuff still. I didn't get as much done on that as I wanted to. But Eddie's working on something kind of cool.
Yeah.
Got a battery, and we got
that's the top piece.
A battery mount we're making.
And that's the, oh, hold on.
And this particular one is going to be for the first gen Camaro, where we're going to mount it. It's kind of custom.
Yep.
But you also worked on a bolt-in bracket for what, a C6?
C6. So I have it modeled like, and I'm designing it based off of C6, but I think it'll work in like a C5 and maybe some of the dry sump cars that have the batteries in the back. It depends, like if you've seen the batteries that have like the little kick out here,
yep,
and you kind of like stick it in there, and then there's got a little hold down.
What about C7?
Maybe, I don't know. We're gonna have to borrow Will's C7.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I need it to do it right. I need it for like probably a week.
Yeah.
To be able to test it right.
Cool. Yeah. Well, we got to make sure like the battery doesn't fall out.
Right.
Yeah.
So I need it for a week.
So we've actually bought some filament for the 3D printer, to where it's like an engineering filament, so we can actually print stuff and it'd be for final use. So that's pretty freaking sweet.
Yeah.
And like I said, this one is more specific just for...
This one's got like weird mounts on it.
For this car, but the other one you were working on, it's got like, what, quick pin releases?
Yeah,
and
this is not done yet. Hold on.
Let's see. Oh.
Yeah. So it's not done yet. So this is going to go in that little slot deal, and then you bolt it in, and then these will have, the battery will go in, and then there'll be a strap that goes over it. And then it'll quick pin in.
That's better than ratchet straps and bungee cords.
Yeah, and zip ties. You know, better than zip ties.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would want a quick pin to hold your battery in, but it's sick, so I'm going to do it.
Well, we just may offer that to you guys as well. And these are the lithium 12-volt batteries that we like to use. They're small and compact, and as you can tell, 880 cranking amps. And
I don't know, like 4 pounds.
Yeah, it's literally like 4 pounds. Oh yeah, he's over here throwing a battery. No. But massive cranking amps. They work. At least so far, we've had no problems using them with regular alternators. Grant's got several of them in his street cars. It's what I have in the road race car. I have one that's a quarter the size of that in the road race car. It's like 400 cranking amps and weighs 1.5 pounds. So why carry a 30, 40, 50 pound battery when you can have a 4 pound battery?
Lithium batteries are like the easiest way to lose weight in your race car. The easiest.
Yep. And if we come up with some cool bolt-in solutions for people's street cars, we can sell some of them.
Exactly.
Cool. Oh, wait a sec. We got the we got to show the 3D printed EGR block off.
Oh yeah.
So for those of you that have, this is a engine we just did a top end deal on for a customer, and you might know they have this goofy solenoid thing here for, I think, EGR, and then this one had the map sensor broken off on it. So Eddie designed up a little deal here. Got a little O-ring on it. Even put a little KSR logo in the thing.
This is that one. This is another one.
This was a test piece. As you can see, it crushed it a little bit, so we changed the infill around that.
Yeah, I made it thicker.
But we're actually printing a full bed of those tonight, and they will be up on the website by the time that this video goes live. So yeah, we're gonna have those available separately, or maybe we do them in a package. I don't know. They're probably gonna be like a few dollars a piece, like something that cleans up the way these engines look. And we need to test and see if it fits other intakes, but we did this just because we had the thing here. And so we went ahead and did that. You know, we could even probably do like 3D printed throttle body adapters. Like you could do some kind of like...
Yeah. I've seen people do them with like high temp filaments and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, these definitely beat like... I think on I have a Trailblazer SS intake, and I think to plug one of the holes, I took a 1/2-inch bolt and just epoxied it in, like JB welded it in. So this definitely beats that.
And it's lighter.
And it's lighter.
And it's got our logo on it, so that's cool. Cool, but anyways, I think that'll wrap up this video. Thanks again to everybody following along, subscribing, the members, the new channel members. Been trying to keep a few just random behind the scenes videos going for that. Like I said, the reason I'm doing that is just to pay you guys pay for a little bit extra access, and we've literally filmed a couple of things that were like 2 minutes long, 5 minutes long. No editing, I just throw them up on there. No thumbnail, no monetization. There's no ads on any of our behind the scenes stuff, or at least I don't put any ads on the behind the scenes stuff. So who knows what YouTube does. But anyways, I'm actually on the road right now headed to Ohio, and you guys will see more about that next week, so, or next video. So thanks again. We'll see you guys next time.